70, but we're not. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to a episode 26, the sports extravaganza, as my lovely green colored co-host has so elegantly donned his all of his gear that is um let's just say it's hideous. But
Well, I mean, at least you're not seeing what's below the desk.
probably your rainbow whitey tidies.
No, Green Bay.
Oh god. If you have Green Bay underwear, you 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 are a true fan. Hey, at least folks could, because when this first started and as soon as I clicked the camera on, he was slurping his coffee or whatever it is in his cup,
Oh, it's
and it
coffee.
was and it was absolutely just made me want to just stab through the computer.
Well, I had to do it. I had to,
But
I had to do it
we
for the flair, for the.
but but we are here on a very um anticipated episode because we both agreed there has been a little plastic deal on this remote since I've had this thing, and I'm just now peeling it off. That may be one of the most satisfying things you ever do when you peel that little clear off of a off of like a remote or a
Well, I know
screen
why
or
you think I've
something.
bought so many phones in the past, especially like
Uh,
iPhones.
but so it's been a couple weeks since we recorded, and
3-ish, I think.
yeah, and Chris and I were going to try to record last week, but last Monday was World Series game, and we both were like, can't do it
Yeah.
because he knew, for one, I would be staring at the screen the whole time, not able to focus on what anybody was saying, and it was true. Um, Monday was game 4, and Tuesday
Yeah.
was game 5, and there was probably not a chance, snowball's chance in hell that hell. I don't know why I said that.
And hail.
That I was going to be able to focus on anything other than that game. Which I will say this: probably the happiest moment of my life, in my sports life.
Good catch there.
After being, or for being a Ranger fan as long as I've been a Ranger fan. Um, just, I mean, I honestly really can't tell you where and how that puts me. But to go through the heartbreak of 2011 and be that close, man, I'm telling you, at first it didn't even feel real. The first couple days, it did not feel real. It didn't feel like it was anything that was like I had to wake up and check my phone because I I didn't know. Like I didn't like I was just like,
You were kind
did
of,
that really happen?
yeah, in disbelief. Yeah, I get it, especially after 2011. God.
And I mean it says a lot about what we've gone through as Ranger fans. Um it's man, it's one of those things that man, I can't, I personally can't put it into words because it's it was for one, it was so shocking, and for two, it was just pure joy. And somebody had pointed this out to me, and I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been my uncle. He said, normally when they piss you off, you make a real super long post and talk about how much you hate it and how much they pissed you off and did this and that. And then when they win, all I put on the on the Facebook, on the book of face, whatever you want to say, um, all I put was happiness, because that's the only thing
Yeah.
that
Content.
I don't even think it was content, man. It was just so it was so satisfying. It was probably the um sorry, I'm sharing our live YouTube live. Um but yeah, so we had that Monday and Tuesday, and then of course work schedules conflicted with a lot of things. You obviously have a um odd duck scheduling at times. Um but now we're back to normal, I think. Um
Yeah, yeah, for the next few weeks, for sure. Um, hopefully, the way things go.
so I've given mine. Did you get to watch? How did you
No,
feel?
didn't get to watch. I did re-watch the whole ninth inning, on YouTube, and I was like you. I was I was trying to not be overcome with emotion.
Oh, I was. I cried. 100%. I
Yeah.
cried.
It's such a huge thing, and people outside the DFW just don't understand. Maybe they do. I mean, maybe Browns fans, I think, are the only ones maybe can understand. What happened in 2011 is just we were one out away,
We were one strike away.
one strike away. And to just go from that and not ever to be able to recover until now, it's hard to put into words, right? It's hard for me to say. I'm not the biggest baseball fan. I have been the last 5 years or so getting into it more and more and more and watching more games. And of course, having a new stadium helps,
Hmm.
when it's 115 degrees outside
Right.
to go live. But I don't know. It was just surreal. I was kind of like you, pinch me. Is this a dream? I I figured they were going to win in 6. I just by watching the pitching and I didn't have the most faith in the bullpen, but God, did Boers come out, man. When you needed him to, Boers was there.
Spores.
That's what I said. Spores.
No, you said boars. You were thinking of
Spores.
you were thinking of boar's head, weren't you?
Yeah.
Meat.
Hmm. I don't eat that much anymore. But Spores was there.
Spores. I mean,
Leclerc, God.
you're back three. Spores, Leclerc, and Chapman. I mean,
Yeah.
if Chapman was on, he was on. But you know, you had your bullpen stepped up in the playoffs, and it was really, God, it was good.
So, yeah,
So
that
so
was
so,
good.
to, so I guess the thing that just still to me right now that just seems so odd, not odd, s- oddly satisfying was the fact that we did win in five.
Yeah.
Um, I never put a pick on. I never told anybody, "Hey, this is how many I think it was." In my brain, I I kept saying 5. I thought I just personally in my head I was like I think it's 5. I think they win it in 5.
The reason
After
why I
game
said 6 was because I didn't see them doing what I figured was the impossible and just to sweep everybody on the road.
yeah, Rays, Orioles,
Yeah,
Astros,
Astros
Diamondbacks,
went. Yeah,
road.
yeah,
Did you ever see that?
yeah. Saw that.
Everybody that they just Rays, Orioles. Wow, I forgot about that part. So sorry if I get distracted for a second. Today is November 11th. Today is Stranger Things Day.
No, it's not. It's
Uh,
November 6th.
November 6th, sorry. November 6th. Today is
Like,
Stranger Things.
I look at
Today
my
is
watch.
Stranger. Yeah, today is Stranger Things Day. So the very first episode of Stranger Things, the date was November 6th.
Oh,
The disappearing of Will Byers. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn on Stranger Things season 1, start from the beginning. I'm just going to watch it from the front to back because it's going to be a while before we get another episode or
they're
another
gonna be
season
out
of
of
storyline.
college. They're gonna be starting their jobs when we get a new episode.
They're they're going to be 8 foot fucking tall going into like
You know,
junior high talking about,
yeah.
hey, 11, let me shave my beard off real quick.
Hey guys.
Yeah. At least they're already going through puberty.
Right.
That Millie Bobby Brown, they're gonna have to like digitally shrink her because apparently
She's
like
like 8 foot tall.
somebody said she's like almost 6 foot,
Yeah.
like in real life. And I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah, they're gonna have to CGI her shrinking her.
Not to sound perverted or anything, but she's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, she's a good looking girl.
She's definitely
And I
gorgeous.
think all of them are now in their 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they were like, I think in season 4 or I think season 4, they were in their late teens, like already portraying like
I
early
don't see how they
teenagers.
made him look so young. Well, that one
They
guy
all
without his front teeth.
they all look young though. Every single damn one of them does.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you, there's not one of them that can grow facial hair, except for
Probably
maybe
not.
except for maybe the black kid. But them other two,
Yeah.
3 in there, they probably none of them can grow fucking facial hair.
No.
Anywho, um, so yeah, and it was fun to basically tell John Smoltz to eat a bag of dicks.
God. He was getting on my nerves.
He was an insufferable douchebag that entire
Yeah.
series.
Yes.
It was
It's
it
almost like
it got so bad that there were it got so bad that on Twitter there were other news writers from other states basically calling him out for the way that he was like talking shit.
yeah.
I mean, it's like, bro, you have to realize that you are now blatantly like it is obvious. Like we as Ranger fans saw it, and if you're going out, go out.
Why does he have such a disdain for Texas?
I don't know because it started in the Orioles series and it continued from the Orioles to the Astros to the Diamondbacks, and it was blatant. I mean, the closer we got to the end of the series with each team, it was blatant. Like in Game 7 with the Astros, holy shit! You could have put an Astros jersey on him and put the crowd and put the camera on him, and nobody would have known the difference. They would have been like, "Oh, okay, that's normal." Because it was he could not find a positive. It was like some of the memes that we saw. Like the one that cracked me up was it was the Uno one where it's like say something nice about the Rangers or draw 25, and then the
He's got
next
a
picture is he's
fistful of
got
cards.
25 cards in his hand, you know, and it's like it was almost impossible for the guy. And when you have news reporters that aren't reporters for either team calling you out and basically we don't have a dog in this fight. Like, chill the fuck out. Seriously. So
it was like, to me, is anything your team can do, the Diamondbacks can do better.
Yeah.
It was just like you said, it was egregious.
Yeah. But then once that was over, man, I mean the high was there, but the lows were also there because um yeah, yesterday, man, was our final race of the season.
Oh, good segue.
And I mean, you went from the highs to like, man, but to me, it was kind of a low. It was the double low. It's a double low. um, it's a double by low, which didn't happen very often. But baseball ended, and that sucked. Yes, we were world champions, but it was like, damn, baseball's over. And then Sunday rolls around, and you're like, well, actually, really Saturday, because you realize with the Xfinity race, you're like, damn, this is the last Xfinity race. And then Sunday you realize, like, I kind of realized it like maybe mid race, maybe a little bit like almost a little bit later than mid race, because once the Cowboy game started, I was kind of back and forth. But like mid race, I was kind of like, damn, this is the last race until the duel. And that's not going to be for a while. Damn. What else am I going to watch on Sundays besides the Cowboys? And that's, I may have sacrificed that to the sports gods with letting the Rangers win the World Series.
I was about to say, I think you did.
I mean, I may have sacrificed that to the sports gods.
I think everybody in the DFW sacrificed the Cowboys winning season for a World Series.
Oh, you should have seen me Tuesday. It was hilarious. They flashed the commercial up of the Philly and Cowboys game, and I pointed at the TV and I said, I don't care if the Cowboys lose by 1,000 as long as the Rangers win this game. And in almost typical Ranger or Cowboy fashion, they lost that game in the most Cowboy way they could. But we'll get to the Cowboys here in a minute.
Similar. It looked very similar to the playoff game.
We'll get to the Cowboys here in a minute. We realized it was the final race of the season. We both kind of put our picks in for the Final Four. Yours were a lot closer than mine were.
Yeah.
I had 2 guys left standing. You had 3. But then
I want to know who actually picked Blaney to go to the Final Four. When the brackets first came out and the 16 drivers were there, who in this world actually had Blaney go into the Final Four?
There was somebody. I bet there was somebody. I bet there was somebody in Vegas who, I'd almost bet that there was somebody in Vegas that probably, I'm going to bet that when the 16 drivers came out, there was probably early odds. I'd like to go back and see if I could find those. I bet Blaney was a really far off odd. And I bet somebody said, you know what?
Fuck it.
I'm going to put $50 on Blaney to win the championship. And that dude right now is just shitting in high cotton because he won the championship. Grand. Yeah. Well, depending on the odds, he could walk away with 50 grand. He could have walked away with, 500 grand. It could have been 1,600 to 1 odds. I mean, who knows? But it was, like you and I both agreed, if it wasn't the final race of the season, and if it wasn't for the championship race, that would have been a boring ass race.
Yeah. I think the guys at NBC and MRN did their best to make it exciting. But God, Chastain he stole the show. I mean, he stunk it up for sure.
Yeah. And what stinks too is that when Kevin was in clean air, he was fast.
Yeah.
And that was Kevin's problem all season.
Yep.
If Kevin got into clean air, he was out front. But when it came to restarts, he could never get the jump on restarts, and he could not, he couldn't get, the closer just wasn't the closer anymore. It was there was some really emotional post-race interviews, and there was, it was it was it got me at the beginning of the race, because they put Keelan and Piper
Oh yeah.
On the radio, and they were like, "Daddy, we love you. Have a good race." And I was like, "Oh, you sons of bitches!"
I think everybody. I think
Yeah,
that was everybody.
yeah. So I uh I was happy he finished off his streak. He
Yeah.
had
21 straight
top tens
top tens at Phoenix. Yeah.
at Phoenix. Nobody else has ever done that. I
No.
don't think anybody will ever do that. And it sucks. It sucks that he's gone, but he's not out of NASCAR. We'll still get to see him. He'll be calling races for Fox.
I think
Um,
that'll be good. I think once he gets settled in and comfortable, I don't believe he'll have a problem of telling the production crew what's on his mind.
well, and he's already called some races.
Oh yeah. But
You know what I mean? Like
as
he's
part-time for Xfinity and all that
right.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
And so I mean he's got his what do they say? He's got his feet wet a little bit. Um,
I just don't know how him and Boyer are going to do.
I think this will calm Boyer down
God, I hope so.
because he didn't have anybody to calm him down with the rotating third
Yeah.
wheels in there. I mean, he just didn't.
No more Danica Patrick bullshit. Trying to come in and guest host, and God, that was horrible. She flat out said, well, Clint, I've never driven these cars, so I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah,
they're going to
I
drive. I'm like,
I do remember you telling me about that. I missed that part, but I
why
do
the
remember you
fuck are
telling
you
me that she
here?
said that. Yeah, because Clint asked her something, and she was like, "Well, I've never driven these cars. So I don't know." And it's like, really, Smoke wasn't bad. I did like Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
Um, as monotone and as boring as he is when he talks, he was entertaining. He was informative. Um, he was, dare I say, kind of like Jeff Gordon, because Gordon was informative, but
Yeah.
Gordon had a lot more.
Gordon tried too hard to be
Yeah,
goofy.
he tried too hard to be kind of cheesy, and he tried to cut up with Clint.
God, that was
Um,
so annoying because it was. I understand the whole gimmick of ragging on Clint, but there's a certain time where it's just okay, dude. He beat the hell out of the guy enough. Let's
yeah, it
move
got to
on.
it got to a point where it was like, okay, we get it. You two really don't like each other that much, but you're tolerating each other.
Yeah,
Shut the hell up. Move on. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, I- we can give our thoughts on the whole entire season. I mean, overall, I thought it was a great season in NASCAR.
I thought it was a really good season. Goodyear finally made a tire worth a shit at Martinsville,
Yeah,
and the tire they had at Richmond, the second Richmond race, they brought to Phoenix, so it actually made Phoenix better, believe it or not.
right.
And then Blaney winning the title. We didn't even talk about it. That Blaney actually did win the title, and this is where the single championship race to me doesn't mean as much as making the Final Four does, in my opinion, because anything can happen in one race, and it's not the measuring stick on a season.
Right.
Like Christopher Bell, one of the fastest cars all playoffs, blows a rotor, hits a wall, he's out, he's done, finishes fourth in the points. William Byron, who statistically had the best season of any NASCAR, any stock car driver, uh, any driver this season in the Cup Series, finishes third in points. When if this was the Winston Cup points, he would have won the championship.
Right.
And Kyle Larson, who's also one of the fastest, finishes second, so that's no surprise there. And then you got Ryan Blaney, who finishes second in the race, but ahead of the other three, and he's the champion.
Yeah.
I can see the Final Four format working in basketball in the whole, March Madness tournament. I don't like it in NASCAR. It
So,
doesn't work for me.
so what's your solution?
I If we're going to have some kind of a playoff system, I am in favor of the original chase format. The 10 drivers in the top 10 in points race the final 10 races out, but you double the stage wins, the stage points, double the stage points, and points are worth double and things like that. Something along those lines. But these 10 top 10 in points at the end of the 26 races, they
Mm-hmm.
all race for a championship. It's kind of what they do in drag racing still in the countdown.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 8 or 10 after the US Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
They reset the points and they race. Something like that. The
Yeah.
original chase I thought was good. When they started expanding it to 12, I think for Gordon that one year because Martin Truex Jr. double clutched it and spun out on purpose. Or no, not him. Clint did. Clint double clutched it so Martin Truex could get in. That's what it was. Clint double clutched it, spun out on purpose, and came and caused a caution for Martin Truex Jr. to get in. And Brian Vickers came to pit road. That was all Michael Waltrip Racing deal
Right.
for you people that don't know. Uh, and that's what ultimately what cost Michael Waltrip Racing to lose their funding and no longer exist.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I think they should go. They should go the original chase format, run it like that, and there's your champion. That's more of a deserving champion than I think, you know, a one race deal.
So you're saying also basically just get away from the whole format. Well, get away from the whole format that we're in, but
Yeah.
also you won't have um a like a regular season champion and
Oh yeah,
then
you can still have a regular season champion and you still do all that stuff. It's just after 26 races, there's 36 races in a season. So after 26, just like they do now, the top 10 in points, whether you have one win or none, if you're in the top 10 in points,
okay.
you're locked into the chase. And then, you have your regular season champion and then they can have their 15 extra points and whatever. And that's how you seed the top 10.
Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. You think that what they do is stupid.
Yeah,
Uh
exactly. I mean, what's your take on Blaney winning the championship?
um I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Out of the four drivers that were in it, we talked about it pre-race that I there's no way that I would have wanted there's no way that I would have wanted Joe Gibbs to win a race. One thing that I didn't really like about the uh Sunday, and I get it, I understand, whatever. I didn't care for the fact that Roger Penske had a headset on and that he could communicate with Ryan Blaney because and this is just me, we all make jokes about that in the NFL. How Jerry's got his headset on and he radios down to Mike McCarthy and this is a play you should be doing.
Yeah.
We make jokes about that in the NFL. Like we as NFL fans, we're like, we look at it and we go, this is stupid. Like we know it's not true. But the fact that like the owner of the car can come over the radio and tell his driver to calm down.
Big
It's
picture.
big picture here. It's like, hey, you pay me to drive. You own the team. if you don't like the way I drive, you wouldn't employ me. I look at it the exact same way as the people that make the jokes of Jerry calling down to the field. You pay the head coach. You pay the head coach to drive that team. It's not like Jerry's calling into Dak's headset and saying, "Hey, Dak, this is what I want you to do." Like I just that's the
True,
only
but
that's one thing I don't like. I feel like that is I just there was just something about that I was just like, I don't care for this. Like I don't care for
so
the fact that he can call down there. I don't even like the fact that like I get it. NASCAR is a different element than football, but I don't even like the fact that Joe Gibbs sits in the box and can communicate with. I don't like the. I just to me, I don't like the fact that the owners can communicate with the drivers
I get
and
it.
and tell the drivers whatever they want to tell the drivers. Calm down. Don't drive this. Do this. I get that. That's their car. They
Tell
own it.
Austin Hill to wreck Sheldon Creed.
Right. You know what I mean? Like I get the
Yeah.
fact that you own the car and all that kind of jazz. But like I can't see myself.
So the way I see it is it's no different than your wife telling you in the passenger seat when you're about to go off on somebody with some road rage to calm down. And, think big picture, that kind of stuff. That's kind of the way I saw it.
I
There's nothing I see nothing wrong with him telling him, "Hey dude, calm down, big picture, a lot of race left to go. You don't have to beat him. You just need to stay ahead of the 5."
I get that. I see that fact.
But I
But
can also see your point where there could be some manipulation going on too.
what if we don't hear like you don't drive the way I want you to drive, I'll park your ass.
Yeah.
I-
I don't think
You
that
know what
would
I
ever
mean?
happen. I
Well,
I don't think that would ever
we
happen.
don't think that would ever
Well, and
happen.
the thing is that
Just like we don't
those
think that
are all monitored like heavily. NASCAR monitors it, and then we can hear it. If you pay for the NASCAR premium, you can hear all the scanners, and all the fans at the track that have the
mm,
scanners can hear it. So it's not like it would go unnoticed.
right.
Somebody would say something, but Blaney's a champion. Cole Custer won the Xfinity race.
That was pretty good. And it was a Ford sweep.
Yeah. Ben Rhodes won the shit show of a truck race.
Yeah,
That
you
was
said that. What
horrible.
made it a shit show?
Every single championship driver was involved in some kind of an incident.
Really?
Carson Hocevar started it by spinning Corey Heim. I believe that's who it was, Corey Heim. That who, yeah, I think it was Corey Heim. The 11 truck, who was also going for a championship. I believe it was Corey Heim.
Mm-hmm.
And then with 3 laps to go, Hocevar is on the outside of Heim, going high for position to get, um, position on him to get higher up in the points or whatever. Yeah, it was Corey Heim. Heim just hangs a right and walls him, puts him in the fence, puts Hocevar in the fence, retaliates against him, even though he won't admit to it, which is smart on his behalf, and causes a caution with Grant Enfinger like decidedly out front to win the
Wow.
championship, like by seconds. So that he had to re-rack them, and they had 4 green white checker starts, 4 overtime. And it was a shit show after shit show. Enfinger got caught up in something. Ben Rhodes got caught up in something.
It's a terrible
And
last name, by the way.
what? Ben Rhodes?
Infinger.
Oh, Enfinger. Yeah. And Rhodes, Enfinger. Enfinger Rhodes.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah. So it was a shit show. Ben Rhodes was able to hang on to the points lead, basically, I guess. Finished second, I believe, is what it was. Uh, it's just a shit show, man. Just an
Oh
absolute shit
shit!
show.
I didn't like it. I wasn't see the one. Um,
Fifth. Ben Rhodes finished fifth and won the championship right ahead of Grant Enfinger in sixth, who was coming with a damaged truck. Enfinger was coming. Right behind him.
wow.
He was right on his rear.
Something bit me on my chin. Sorry, I got distracted.
All right, Forrest. Something bit me.
Man. Okay.
It's sad. NASCAR's over. Baseball is over. Harvick is done. Who are you gonna go for now? That's my question to you.
Bitch, you don't say we.
Seriously, I had this conversation with my mom the other day, yesterday. I said, I honestly don't have a driver like I can ride or die with. Jeff Gordon was always that guy. I was always a Jeff Gordon fan, through and through, 100%. And now I'm just like, I've been lost. You know, I followed Jimmy Johnson. I wanted him to win the 7th. He did.
You know, I think for me, I was thinking about this today because I was watching some of the Kevin post race stuff, and you know, I was kicking around different guys to kind of follow and kind of pay attention to, but I think I'm gonna stick with the 4.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna ride or die with the 4 and see what Josh Berry can do next season.
Yeah. I like Josh Berry.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I told my mom. I said, I think I'm just gonna side with Josh Berry and ride with him. I like him. I liked him in late models, and I liked him in the Xfinity series. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, him or Chris Buescher and Brad
Busher is
Keselowski.
another one. Busher is another one that is cool, because he is from Prosper.
Yeah.
So,
First one of the night.
man, I will say daylight saving sucks.
It ended.
No, it didn't.
Yeah,
and we just fell back.
I know. We went back to standard time.
Right, but it's not over. Like we're gonna spring forward because they didn't.
I know.
They didn't. I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish we would.
Daylight savings time ended.
Fuck off. You know what I meant. You know exactly what I meant. The fact of fallback, and
it feels later than it is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, right now you would think you would think that you'd be. I mean, on the weekend, that's great. You gain that hour of sleep, and everything. See, I started it. You get that hour of sleep. You're happy. You're like, man. You wake up at 8, and you're like, it's 9. It was, really would be 9, but it's 8, and I got the whole day. But like today, left the house when it was dark to go to work. I caught traffic. I got home. It was dark. Not a speck of daylight left because I caught traffic, and it was after. Like I got stuck in some shit on 20, and I mean it was 6. It's like 6:25 before I got home, and it was pitch black dark. And I'm like, that fucking sucked. Like I went to work, it was dark. I get home, it's dark. Like you don't get to, walk around your yard and look at if there's anything wrong, or you don't you got to move because like that quick 2 or 3 days of 30-degree weather just nuked my green in my grass.
Really?
Like my front yard, she's a brown.
Wow.
But my front yard's pasture grass. I still have some green in the backyard from St. Augustine. But like my front yard, it's just pasture grass, weeds, whatever. And she's nuked. Like I can speed mow that shit and knock the tops off all that little whisper grass that's at the top, and then go. I'm good to roll. My yard will be it won't grow for fuck. It probably won't grow till June. But
Then we'll be in a drought again.
yeah, well, no, it'll start growing probably about April, as long as it's not in the 30s. But I'm ready
It's a
for
good possibility.
I'm ready for the cold, man. I mean, those few little days where
Oh,
we had
man.
some cold. Oh, see, I still love the cold. I don't give a shit if I will never. I don't give a shit if I lose as much weight as you lost. I probably still won't like the heat.
Dude,
There's
I
just
can't. I was looking for coveralls, insulated coveralls. I was so cold. And it wasn't even that cold.
no, it wasn't that cold because I just had a light sweater on.
I swear I found that coat I need to give you.
Yeah,
It should fit you. It's a 3X.
Thanks for calling me out. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I just like I got home and I was like, man. And then I looked at the time and I was like, oh, it's 8:15. But then you think like, man, it should be like 9:15. There's no wonder why I'm dead ass tired right now.
Yeah.
Like, you're in your brain, it's like it's great, it's fantastic, but your body is like, nah, bro, it's really 9 o'clock. Like last night, no bullshit. Last night after all the games or before the Bengals game started, I changed the clocks in the kitchen. And I was like, you know what? The temperature's gone down. It's kind of breezy outside. I'm gonna go watch a little bit of this uh, Bengals and Bills game out in the garage. Crack me a beer, and then I walked through the kitchen and I was like, 8 o'clock. I was like, damn, it is 8 o'clock. I was like, you know what? I'll just go out here and I'll just drink one, and then I'll come inside and I'll just go lay down. And then I picked up my phone and I was like, shit, it's actually 7 o'clock. So maybe I'll drink two, and then I'll go inside and go to bed. I ended up drinking two, and I went inside, and I was like, it was 8:15, and I was like, I'm laying down. Screw it. I was like, I don't care. I was like, my body right now is saying, nah.
Getting old.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Well, hell, you did just celebrate a birthday.
Yeah, I did. I did. I turned 39 on October 30th. I'm on board.
Finally joined the 39 club.
We're a year closer to 40.
God. Yeah. So I've been thinking about that.
Turning 40.
Yeah. I know it's just a birthday and whatever, but it's it's something I didn't think that we would ever see. To be honest with you.
Do you think we were gonna off ourselves or what?
Well,
Or
there's
just
always that
doing this,
possibility.
or just doing the stupid shit that we do, hurt ourselves.
Yeah, that too. I want to go, like I told you, I want to go to either a Packers game or something like that. But if I can get like a fall vacation, I really want to go to Martinsville.
That'd be cool.
I'd like to go to Martinsville.
I was thinking about that yesterday towards the end of the race about because they were showing highlights and everything, and I was like, man, minus I don't want to even say that because at the time we were still buddies, but like we had a good time tailgating that race.
Yeah.
We had don't be yeah. We had a good time. We had a damn good time tailgating.
I think I want to tone it back a couple of notches though next time.
Oh, hell with that.
I don't remember anything about the race.
I want to turn it up about 10 notches. I don't remember damn near anything about the race.
I remember
because
Blaney
wasn't paying attention to it. Huh?
I remember Blaney won.
I remember we were just the whole time we were just cracking up, talking about things and making fun of people and Chance. That's when we met Chance and his goober of a group. And
yeah,
I mean, it was a damn good time. We just cut up and had a good time. And then next thing you know, there's a damn mariachi band playing in the infield.
Texas.
Yeah. But we can get to it. We can talk about it real quick. Sunday was football.
Yeah.
Cowboys lost in the most okay. I'm gonna go on a tangent real quick. First off, I'm gonna start off by saying this. If you ever listen to the show that is behind me, you know I am not the biggest fan of Dak. I I have been very critical of Dak. I have always said that Dak is not a elite quarterback. I say he's a good quarterback, but he is not elite. And when I say good, I mean he is in the bottom tier of the top 10 of quarterbacks. I'm not going to say he's anywhere over the top 5 because he's not. Dak statistically had a good game yesterday. Statistically, no picks. He had a QBR of like over 110. He had quite a bit of yardage. Completion percentage was good. Terrence Steele should have not made it onto the bus. He got beat multiple times yesterday, and it was embarrassing. Our O-line has looked sloppy at best in these 3 games that we have lost. Our receivers have done their jobs. There's been some mistakes in some certain areas. Well, some passes that have been thrown behind, then tipped, then interception. We get it. Philly has a good run stopping defense, and that's why Tony Pollard looked like shit. But they had 1st and 5 at their own 5 with 27 seconds left. And the following happened: delay of game, sack, pass to CD that was 5 yards short. Delay 2 sacks in a row is absolutely a scenario that you're like, what the French fried fuck was that? And Terrence Steele got beat on 2 of those. And you're just like, why?
The pre-snap penalties are all discipline. It's a lack of awareness and a lack of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
The sack is a lack of talent.
Very.
The fact that they can't find anybody is because they paid Prescott. They paid Dak so much money to where they don't have it to hand out and get the players.
They didn't make any not a peep, not a pecker, not a nothing at the trade deadline when you very well could have. Didn't do that.
Who are you gonna give up to get who?
But you try something. But they didn't try anything. You could have
Green Bay.
You could have. Well, I mean, let's be honest. Green Bay's in a rebuild.
Yeah.
They beat the Rams. Everybody's beating the Rams.
Yeah.
So before we started, I was telling you about what I have deemed the reverse curse.
Yes.
When I say the reverse curse, the 2 teams that, well, now 3, but the 2 teams prior that have beaten us haven't won a game since they beat us. San Francisco hadn't won a game since they beat us. They were on a bye this week. And Arizona hasn't won a game since they beat us.
That's Arizona. That's not.
But that's still though. It's like they beat us and then they can't win anything else. Same thing with San Fran. They beat us and they can't win anything. They haven't won since.
So let's see Philly's is going to happen to Philly.
Let's see if it happens. And if it does, it could work out in our favor because we won those games while everybody else was, losing. So now we can win and maybe Philly can lose. It'd be good, right? Maybe. I don't know.
Eagles are on a bye week.
Right.
They come back and they play at Kansas City on Monday night, the 20th.
See? There you go. We're playing the Giants next week.
That should be.
And no Danny Dimes. They've got DeVito up there and not Danny.
That should be an easy win again.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't put up 40 again, something's wrong. Well,
because this time we're in Dallas or Arlington.
Yeah. So the Eagles, they play the Chiefs at Arrowhead, then they play the Bills, and then they play the Niners. That's the next
See?
3 games coming up.
See? See?
I see. I can
Reverse
see it
curse could
close.
happen.
But the Bills did just lose one to the Bengals.
Bengals aren't a bad team.
No, but
Bengals figured their shit out.
I think the Bills are better than the Bengals.
I think they figured their shit out. I think the Bengals have.
I hope so because I like Joe Cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see what happens. So Cowboys take on the Giants, right?
dub.
You say that. But they have been able to drop games to teams they should beat.
Okay, who they play next after the Giants?
Ooh. Oh, let me look at the Googler. Giants, Panthers, and Commanders. That's next 3.
Dub.
Thanksgiving.
Just call it World War winning.
When was the last time the Cowboys won on Thanksgiving?
Didn't they win last year on Thanksgiving?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I'm looking. Stall.
Are you sure? I think they won last year on Thanksgiving.
They've won 31 times. I don't know. I don't think they.
Just look up
2022.
Just look up 2022 Thanksgiving Cowboy game. I forgot about that whole wall thing in Stranger Things, where the kid kind of comes out of the wall.
Oh yeah, they beat the Giants 2020.
What I thought.
Okay, so
Morris code
so they play the Redskins Commanders
on Thanksgiving.
Washington has always been a hard game.
Division games have always been hard.
Well, maybe.
And everybody expected, first of the season that this was going to be one of those years that, the NFC East could be not the NFC least, but the NFC beast. And
it's not.
No, it's not. Danny Dimes gets hurt. He looks like shit. Sam Howell and whatever experiment they're going through over there in Washington is not working. Sam Howell is, they're putting up a lot of yards and points wise because they're having to come from behind the whole damn time. They did almost beat Philly, but really and truly, and me and my coworker talked about this today. Philly didn't show me that they were a championship team.
No, they were in panic mode, it seemed like.
Yeah, and
they were throwing things at the Cowboys that were just like desperation kind of.
Yeah.
Especially on offense, it seemed like.
Yeah, I didn't see a championship quality NFC contender out there. And I'll be honest, I haven't seen that all year in the Cowboys. Do I think the Cowboys still can make the playoffs? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But do I see them as a threat? No, not right now, not even close. I see them as a wild card.
I said this at the beginning of the year. I got bit by an ant on my foot.
Dude, I got bit like 3 or 4 times this weekend by some chiggers on my ankle.
So I said this at the beginning of the year that the AFC will definitely be the stronger of the two, and if not the strongest that we've seen in a long time out of the AFC. Your Super Bowl champion is going to be out of the AFC again. Now, whether that's the Chiefs, Bills, or Bengals, I don't know. but
Yeah.
that's my top 3. That's for sure. Oh shit, I'm clipped.
I
So
I'm not really for sure if your Super Bowl contender does come out of the AFC. Um, right now, there's not a super strong standout to me in the NFC. Um, I think
Detroit, to me, is another quote dark horse.
they're a dark horse, but they're not a standout. You know what I mean? They're not one of these teams that we see.
I no,
They're by far to me going to win that division.
yeah.
Um, but you look at some of the other divisions right now in the NFC, and you're like, what do you got? I mean, yeah, you got the Cowboys and the Eagles, but then you've got
Seahawks
Tampa.
are making a case. They're
You
leading the
got
West.
yeah, you got Seahawks. You got the Seahawks and
Uh-huh.
damn, I can't think of anybody else in the NFC that's actually standing out.
Niners were until they dropped 3 in a row.
Niners were, yes, that's true. Um,
I'm trying to think. Tampa Bay, I thought maybe had a good shot at it. Right now, it seems like New Orleans is a quiet, uh, you know, South champion.
I think New Orleans probably ends up winning that. I thought Tampa Bay might, but I really think that comes down to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Um, the the NFC West, obviously, it's probably going to be. I mean, to me, I think more than likely it's San Francisco. I don't see anybody else in that division. I don't see the Rams turning it around.
Seahawks,
Um,
though, Seahawks are like I said, they're leading the division right now, and they're
Seahawks.
putting together
That's what I'm saying.
wins.
Seahawks can make a case for it. Um, I do think that's an absolute possibility, but it all depends on Brock Purdy. I think a lot of it depends on Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy has been getting exposed a couple of games now.
And that defense is pretty good.
Yeah. So I don't know. It could be really interesting to see. We are over halfway through the season now.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I
I
mean,
think the older you get, the faster time goes.
that, and I think the worse it feels because you're like you kind of sit back and you're just kind of like,
Damn, I didn't
wait,
realize the Seahawks lost that bad last night or yesterday.
oh yeah, Lamar and then put it on them.
Yeah, 37-3.
Yeah,
So I was looking at the Seahawks schedule coming up. They got Washington, then Rams, Niners, Cowboys, and then Niners again next 5 weeks.
yeah,
And then the Eagles. That's a tough stretch.
that is a tough stretch.
And it's a Thursday night game for the Cowboys at Cowboy Stadium.
And I think Philly's got a pretty tough stretch too.
Yeah.
So
Packers. All right. I want to be real about the Packers. They're not doing anything this year. That's kind of duh, right?
yeah,
But what can they do about Jordan Love? I'm trying to rack my brain, trying to figure out what the hell they can do.
I'm gonna be honest,
He's not
no,
the answer.
but I also think it's hilarious that yesterday on the Fox broadcast that I'm not gonna say who I think it was because it was either TB or Jimmy Johnson, but one of them said, and I quote, they have their quarterback of the future with Jordan Love. And like I said, I don't remember who said it, but
I
I was
want to
just
say it was
like,
TB.
I was like, it, Did those words just come out of his mouth? Did he really say that?
God, I hope
So
not.
I think what they're trying to figure out is it Jordan Love or is it Matt LaFleur?
Aaron told us when Matt LaFleur first came in that he was going to be the reason why Aaron left.
Yes. I mean, that's been publicly known. I want to say this. This is our first episode that we've done in a while that nobody's commented.
Crazy.
Wow.
There's 2 people watching. You're one of them.
Oh, I'm not watching.
Oh, you're not? Wow. Thank you for
No.
the 2 people watching.
Hello, 2 people.
I don't even have it on. I have it on the big screen, so I haven't even seen any comments.
You know what? I haven't even. Now I'm going to open it and see if
No.
anybody's commented.
No comments.
Oh. A buddy of mine texted me a while ago. He goes, "Man, I've missed Joe Buck. He just said the Jets won the coin toss, and it's been a downfall ever since the Jets won the coin toss." I hate to look at my fantasy score. I'm probably getting smoked right now because the guy that I'm playing has Keenan Allen. Oh no, I'm only losing by 11, but I don't have anybody playing, so I've already lost. Yeah, I was now I'm one of the 2 people watching. And it still says there's only 2 people watching.
We don't do it for them. We do it for us.
We have 6 followers on YouTube.
My mom's
My
one of them.
video quality on YouTube is ass.
That's because we pay for the broadcast version of StreamYard, so it's 720.
No, mine says I'm watching in 140p. So I need
Holy
to
shit.
go to my advanced 7. Okay. Is that going to make it look any better? Oh, that made it look a lot better. That made it look a lot clearer.
Yeah,
I like
there
the
you go.
delay. I can look at myself, looking at myself, looking at myself. So,
like Tropic Thunder.
I'm about to do that. Looking at myself, looking at myself, looking at myself. I'm just a dude playing a dude, trying to be a dude. Good movie, by the way.
Very good movie. I think it'll get canceled nowadays.
Movie I don't think they could ever remake.
No. Surprised somebody doesn't cancel him.
Who, Robert Downey?
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Again.
Man, I don't remember. We thought we were going to be here for a while, and I think we've kind of blown through everything.
Yeah. It's kind of like I normally am. Quick and easy.
Wow. Hey, did I show you this last time? This was pretty cool. I don't think I did.
No. Tonka?
So we have one of our normal drivers that comes in, and he has a 3D printer, and this is a 3D printer.
That's cool.
The bed lifts up, and it's what our 777 size is. Like if you look close, it's got little stairs on the front, and it's kind of, it's got dual wheels in the back, and they all spin. Yeah,
that's cool.
Tonka toy. But yeah, he 3D printed one, and it was funny. I was like, he came into the office and he was like, "Hey, I got something I need you to unload real quick. It's kind of heavy though." And I was like, I didn't know we were getting anything from him today. And I walked outside, and he had that like with a piece of string or something like put on the flatbed of his truck. And I was like, "Oh, you're a real funny guy." I was like, "That's badass." He was like, "No, you can have it. I made you one." And then he like all the yard guys, he makes one. One of the guys over in Little Elm or Irving West has one.
That's
cool. I was like, "Damn, you're a nice dude. You made one for everybody."
That's pretty cool.
It's weird. I'm not switching jobs, so I'm going to be at this one for a while. And today it was like one of those days where I was like, "This isn't a bad gig. Like this is an easy gig." But then once we've had this new daylight savings rollback, spring back forward, back upside down. Today I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get used to this, leaving it dark and getting home at dark.
They say the highest suicide rate is after we fall back.
Yeah, I have heard that before. That's pretty bad. Speaking of springs and fallbacks and fall and bringing and all that kind of jazz. You watched Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah,
That was a good movie, right?
it's a good movie.
Have you seen the video game?
Yeah,
So your kids played the video game?
yeah,
Okay. Well, I just thought I wanted to ask if you saw it and you liked it because I'd watch it again.
yeah,
I thought it was that good.
yeah. It was really good. It was one of those Blumhouse
Yeah, Blumhouse.
movies. It was one of those Blumhouse movies that wasn't over the top with
Yeah.
gore and all that kind of stuff. It was really geared towards kids. What was that?
That that's my knife. My little
Sound like
handle
it hit
Billy.
a vibrator.
Yeah,
Got
well,
a doctor or something?
I think it was more gated. I think it was more catered. Yeah, I'm starting to mess up words here. It may be close to wrap up time before I start saying something like never mind.
Uh-huh.
Um no, yeah,
You're not
I thought it
listening.
was really good. I think it's a I think it's a potential I'd say I think it could be a potential cult classic. One of those
Yeah.
ones that has a following outside of the video game.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe. I thought I think they did great by putting it on Peacock and in theaters. That helped a lot too. Go side by
Got
side.
got to turn your mic on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you.
Because the other night, me and Allie and hell, even Tyler, we all got up on the couch and let's watch it. So we watched it, and she wasn't too freaked out by it. She's like, "Oh my god, that's so and so, and that's so and so." Like, I don't
Yeah.
remember that. I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
this will be in our repertoire for Halloween's to come.
Right. Right. Your kid's
So
going to want to dress up as Freddy or the rabbit or the Chica, the bird.
yeah. Hell, Tyler 1 year was Freddy.
Was he really?
Yeah, when he was little.
That's pretty cool.
So
Yeah, I had no clue about it until uh one of the YouTube gamer guys that I've been following since I started working with Robert, Tim the Tapman, played the game, and we freaking cracked up laughing watching him play it because it was a grown man getting jump scared by a robotic bear and robotic rabbit,
yeah,
which was
it's,
hilarious.
it's a good movie.
Yeah, it was good. Anywho, well, we didn't blow past the 2 hour mark or hell even an hour and 15. Man, these freaking basketball shorts are uncomfortable. Oh, that's better.
You still taking those vitamins or
Yeah.
whatever supplements help you
Yeah,
lose?
I'm on my little break. It's recommended you take them for 30 days and then you take a break for um I think my mom said 15. So I'll take a break for 15 days and then I'll go back on them. We'll see. We'll see how much weight I've lost here shortly. I hadn't even checked, to be honest.
I'm
Because
holding serve at 173.
nice, very nice, sir, very nice. Let's get
Starting.
a round of applause.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
Starting to gain some muscle.
well, the muscle on your jaw doesn't count.
Yeah, well, it depends on who you ask.
No, tell Robert at the. I mean, Robert, not Robert. I was gonna say tell Rodney at the truck stop that you greatly appreciate all the compliments he gives you. Big old trucker named Rodney. Come here, Chris. You look like a pretty boy.
You got a pretty mouth on you.
You shave all that facial hair off. I like it smooth.
Oh, anywho.
On that note, ladies and gentle germs, children and boys of all girls and ages, and creeds, colors, and species alike. I hope this was a very fun episode for the. Didn't mean to do that.
All right.
The just the earthquake there for a second. The 9 people that are going to watch this and the other 2 that are going to listen. Thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate you.
All right.
And Chris, I guess you know what? I opened it, so close her up, lady.
Well, like you said, thank you for everybody tuning in and joining in and watching and listening and supporting us through 26 episodes now. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. See ya.